Alderman Jordan Hill-Lewis, Executive Mayor of Cape Town, South Africa, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Let me begin first by seeking your indulgence if I degenerate into a coughing fit in the middle of delivering this address. It's because I'm just coming off my own bout with COVID about 2 weeks ago. So unfortunately, this is one of those after effects that we have to put up with. A very warm welcome to our World City Summit 2022 Young Leaders Symposium. This dialogue between young leaders is one of the key events of the World City Summit, and it brings together change makers and accomplished leaders with an interest in how cities must be shaped to meet the needs of their residents. This year's theme of Emerging Stronger is more relevant than ever, as many cities around the world are in the process of recovery after the impact of the pandemic since 2020. Today, we have over 90 young leaders from all across the world who have joined us in this symposium. About half of you in this room are newly nominated young leaders, and we welcome you as part of the WCS Young Leaders Network. Several WCS young leaders and alumni are speaking in the WCS sessions this year. We also welcome to this session the Executive Mayor of Cape Town, Alderman Jordan Hill-Lewis, and Director Kalea from the Bilbao City Council. In addition, our Senior Minister of State, Mr. Tan Kiat Hau, will be speaking later in the morning at the second half of the symposium. The symposium will be moderated and hosted by our Senior Assistant Director, Adib Jalil from CLC. We conceived the WCS Young Leaders Network in 2013 to convene a group of passionate and accomplished leaders from diverse urban sectors who could catalyze positive change in our cities. Today, this mission is even more critical, with a global pandemic at hand and even more calamitous risks from climate change looming. We are proud to have established a platform for some of the world's most driven urban innovators, thought leaders, and political leaders under the age of 35, while at the same time welcoming earlier young leaders as alumni attendees at this symposium. Our present network extends to over 550 members and alumni from more than 70 countries who have been driving practical and policy changes to make our cities more livable and sustainable. Post-symposium, we aim to grow this platform's reach and impact, and we look forward to hearing suggestions how we can facilitate this. As part of our efforts to grow the Young Leaders Network, we have new nominees, such as Mr. Mikko Kasalayan, Chief Economist for the City of Helsinki. As Chief Economist, Mikko grapples with the challenge of balancing healthcare spending with maintaining the same level of service standards. And from the private sector, we have Mr. Joe Lasavio as the Manager of Ecosystem Engagement and Development for Global Cities at MasterCard. Joseph transformed the MasterCard City Possible network of 330 cities into an interactive urban innovation ecosystem. The City Possible ecosystem now provides opportunities for cities to share challenges and exchange knowledge in a variety of physical and virtual formats, including working groups, events, and thought leadership production. Our young leaders do not work exclusively within their own spheres, and there is significant opportunity for collaboration across the different sectors. A noteworthy example would be Ms. Stephanie Groen, Managing Director for Water, Coastal and Climate Change Asia at design engineering firm Oricon. Stephanie has been working closely with PUB to design new floating systems for Pandan Reservoir and Lower Seletar Reservoir. This project considers the environmental impacts of the construction and operation of the floating solar panels, with the eventual goal to embrace biodiversity in engineering design and generate green energy, to put Singapore on the road to being an even more sustainable and carbon neutral city. With the wide representation at today's Young Leaders Symposium, we hope that it will provide you with a good platform to share ideas on addressing the more complex problems facing our cities. Discussion topics will revolve around the main levers of change required to build pandemic-resilient cities and also how cities can invest in their infrastructure in the next 3 to 5 years to adapt to extreme weather events brought about by climate change. These topics will be further discussed at length during the workshop-style session later this morning. I'm pleased to announce that these sessions will be facilitated by the following: MBS's Director of Sustainability, Tan Zihan, Oricon's Managing Director, Stephanie Groen, and Participate in Design's Executive Director, Larry Yung. The wealth of experience shared amongst these facilitators will no doubt add tremendous value to the discussions. Lastly, I would like to thank our WCS Young Leaders partners, such as the National Youth Council, for assisting us in connecting to the broader network of youth leaders who can partake in this morning's symposium. I'll now hand you back to our host, Adib, and I look forward to an engaging and stimulating set of discussions as we get World City Summit 2022 off to a start. Thank you very much.
Thank you.